Oh my gosh, I really love that. Okay, you're gonna say now.
So, it's really cute, but the Pendleton bikes, they're always getting stolen. But also they're really heavy. I mean, it's got a good rack though, doesn't it? But they're so heavy. Like, how am I going to get it up the stairs when I want to go the side way and avoid the intersection? This one's cute. What about this one?
No.
Hello everyone, I'm Heather. It's the 8th day of Shorty September. Yeah, it's the 8th day, and today's book for the 8th day is Open Water. I do have the book at home, and I've also started it. I'm like a good 20 pages in, and I'm enjoying it. But the best part about this book today is that I found the audiobook of it, and so now it can accompany me on literally the longest run of my life. Hooray! I'm slowly building myself up to this 13 miles I have to run for the Cardiff Half Marathon on the 1st of October. My Nike running coaching app says that I'm now up to 10 miles. So today's plan is to run 10 miles. We'll see how far I actually get before I get cold feet and hate my life and want to just turn around and come home. Like, I was looking at how far I'd need to run in order to run there and back and still do 10 miles. I have to basically run from here, Cardiff, to the source of the Taff. I brought Jolly Ranchers. One Jolly Rancher for each mile. So I could like run, and then at the mile mark I could have a Jolly Rancher. But in the time between leaving my house on my bicycle and getting here, I've eaten 6 of them. Just for morale. Just to keep myself from turning around and going home and getting back in bed. I really hope that Open Water lights my fire. Like, I've never wanted a book to be the best book of the year more than I want it right now. I just want to put these headphones on and experience the best audiobook situation of my whole life. Please, God. That's all I want. No. He's been talking about basketball for ages, like it's the best thing on earth. And like I should care. And now I'm panicking. What if this book sucks? I got 9 miles left. I can't take more basketball. No, I can't. It's too hot. It's so hot. And this audiobook, I hate it. I hate this audiobook. Like, I don't think it's the book so much. It's just the audiobook. Like, the guy who's reading it, he's reading it with no inflection at all in his voice. He's just like droning on. Like, I'll give you a sample of it. You can tell me how you feel. Maybe I'm just being over dramatic because I'm hot as fuck and I hate running. But I got ditched the audiobook. Like, I switched to Beyonce, okay, for a bit, thinking I could salvage it because she always fixes my shit. But no, like, it's too far gone. Not even Beyonce can fix this. I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna only run 6 miles. I'm gonna run one more mile and then run back, go home, have a cold shower and a snack, and get the actual book out. I feel like the book itself is gonna be good. I feel like it's gonna be a good book. But also with the audiobook, like, because he's like droning and droning and droning, I keep sort of slipping out of myself into other things and thinking about lunch. And then I've missed loads of stuff, so I have no idea what the hell's going on. Like, I feel like literally nothing's happening yet, even though we're quite far in. What a mess. Okay, that's much better. This book is really good. It is actually really good, and I'm really enjoying it. But only like in book form, in reading it on my own form. The audiobook was not doing it for me. Caleb Zuma Nelson, I really like him as an author. I really like his style. It's really sort of elegant and like poetic and thoughtful and lovely, and it is about love, like passionate love, and like more about how can you properly love someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you allow yourself to be in that kind of a vulnerable place, to sort of give all of yourself to someone and let someone see all of who you are, and to trust that they're going to see all of who you are and, you know, be kind with it, you know, take all of who you are and still sort of want to be with you. And I guess sort of about as well what stands in the way of that, like what stands in the way of you being able to be that vulnerable with someone, or like to make them aware of that, of your feeling, you know, to sort of like properly communicate and express your love for someone and your desire to be that way with them. And that those things standing in the way can often be like trauma, or, you know, injustice, or you know, your own mental state, mental health. In the book, the main character, I don't think he has a name. I think he doesn't have a name. I'll check on it. But I mean, he has a name, but I feel like we don't know his name. Like, I'll look on it. Maybe I missed it. Like, the audiobook was hard to follow. Maybe he does have a name and I don't know what it is. But he sort of talks a bit about sort of just the daily trauma of being black in London, sort of like all the different kinds of injustices and things that he has to deal with. And I think there's sort of like themes and stuff as well, like underpinning everything here about sort of like black masculinity and sort of how that stands in the way of you expressing yourself and giving yourself and being vulnerable and stuff like that. And that is gorgeous. I love that. The author, Caleb Zuma Nelson, he did like an interview as well where he said like the mind state he was in when he first wrote this book. He said loads of his family had died the year before he wrote this, and he was like looking for an outlet for his grief, or he was like not an outlet so much as like trying to understand his grief, trying to sort of work through his feelings and like the feelings of humanity, really, to sort of understand where it comes from, this grief, you know, and sort of help him cope with it. And I love that. I think that's really beautiful. But I swear to God, none of that was coming through in the audiobook. Okay, like please just listen to it. Like, hold on. Please listen to it now.
There should be no reason for the group of 16-year-olds to see your confused and lanky frame, unsure how you managed to wander so far from the building which houses your cohort, and approach with the intention of friendship. You look lost, bro. I am. Where you going? Lower school.
Like, am I right? Am I right that the person reading this book is doing it really monotone and shit, and that none of the beauty of what is in this book actually comes through the way that he's reading it? Please tell me. Like, if I'm being crazy and I'm just hot as fuck and unhappy at other things and that's like affecting me in this case, like, you can be honest. You can let me know that actually it's fine and I'm just being irrational. That's fine. Maybe I need you to tell me that. But like, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Also, I've just phoned up Punk Bikes, which is this like bike store in Cardiff that sold me the bike I have now. Like, my bike now is from the 70s. His name is Arnold, and he used to be a metal hunk of shit until they took him and they rebuilt him and then they sold him to me. And I take him there loads, like every flat tire, like when the brakes went, when the gears went, blah blah. And they're the ones that told me that this is like it now. Like, he cannot be revived. Like, now he's just gonna be a money pit. Like, the more money you put in him for like minor repairs, you might as well just get a new one. That was quite hard to hear because I feel like if anyone's gonna believe in Arnold and his like ability to keep going, it's gonna be them, and he's just lost their trust, you know? So I was like, okay, it's my birthday, it's coming up, like I'll use that as an opportunity to get a brand new bicycle. I was looking at them, I was like, oh, maybe about 200 to 300 pounds roughly I can get a pretty good bike, but like my heart is not in it. I've been looking for these bikes and I can get one right now, but you know, it's gonna be some factory crap. Like, yeah, it'll be lighter, yeah, the brakes will work pretty good, blah, blah, blah. But is it gonna hold up over the long term? Like years and years from now? Probably not. It's factory crap. And despite, you know, like being lesser quality, it's gonna look brand new, okay? Because this is Cardiff, like the land of bicycle kleptomania. It's gonna last about 4 minutes on the street, okay? Like, it's gonna look like it's definitely new, it's got definite resale value, and someone's gonna come by with like hedge clippers or whatever and just do it in. No matter how good the bicycle lock is I put on it, no matter how many I put on it, it's toast. So now I'm thinking, how much money would it be to give Arnold just a complete overhaul? New brakes, new wheels, new chain, new gear mechanism, just new everything. Okay, is it going to be less than 300 pounds? Because if it is going to be less than 300 pounds, I'm fucking doing it. Okay, that's going to be 100% way better than getting just some factory bullshit bike for like $289 or whatever from Halfords. Called the Punk Bikes guy like right now, and I've said up to him like, this is my plan. Do you think it's feasible for the money I've said? I sort of said, do you remember me? Do you remember my bike? Like, I don't know if you remember. And he's like, I remember, yeah, you're here all the time. So he does remember, and he knows the situation. He's like, I'll give you a quote. He was like, I think it's potentially possible. Like, we can't do everything over the top. Like, we can't do 3 gear, blah, blah, blah. But if you went with like a 1 gear situation, we got new wheels, new gear, new chain, new brakes, blah, blah, blah. He said potentially he could get it for under 300 pounds. He's gonna like send me the quote or whatever. But in that case, instead of getting a bike for my birthday, I'll just like send whoever wants to get me a bike for my birthday like the invoice for Arnold's like repairs. happy birthday to me and Arnold and Anwen, because Anwen also was really upset that we managed to get rid of Arnold. Like, we've bonded with him, he's like our dog. And you decide you believe in permanence. This definitive arrives when your best friend breaks the hot silence, cool and measured. She tells you she loves you, and now you know that you don't have to be the sum of your traumas, that multiple truths exist, that you love her too. I fucking love shit like this. I love shit like this. I'm eating this shit up. There's also little bits like sort of this. Are you okay? She asks. Where did you go? I'm good, you say. And you are. Like, I was reading in that interview with the author that sort of when he asks in the book, like when either of the two people ask in the book, are you okay? It's sort of like a message to the reader as well. Like he's sort of asking if the reader's okay. Because he did it sort of, I guess, as, I don't know, an investigation of his emotions. Sort of like a deep dive into feelings and, you know, emotions and stuff. And he had to sort of spend a lot of the time sort of asking himself, like, are you okay? You know, and it's sort of like an invitation for the reader to do the same. It was, I'm enjoying this. Okay, finished it. I think I'm gonna go with 4 stars on this one, mainly because like I loved it. I loved like loads of passages that were in it. Like I wrote down some quotes because I quite liked them. I really liked the ending. I really liked sort of the characters and everything like that. But the language, like the style and everything, it was so sort of elegant and poetic and everything. Like the style of it, I really enjoyed it until it got sort of, I don't know, too much, like too intense. I don't know, like some of it just went on and on and on in like description or something like that. And I don't know, I got a bit bored in those sort of bits, thinking like, come on, let's move on. But not to the point where it like detracted from my enjoyment of the book. Like I still fully 100% enjoyed it. So I'm gonna go with 4 stars. Tomorrow's book is a bit weird. It's called Gentleman Overboard by something Lewis something, like I'll put it up. It's from the 30s and it's basically just about a guy who falls off a boat. He falls off a ship, like a cruise or something in the ocean, and then like has just like an inner monologuing for the rest of the book while he's like treading water waiting to be rescued. It's just basically what he's thinking about while he's sort of in the water. It's one of these ones like Root of Ice and Salt, where I couldn't find it in the library. I couldn't find it in ebook even. I could only find it in audiobook. So I don't have it to show or anything like that. It's simply just an audiobook. That is important because the plan is to go to Bath tomorrow with a couple friends for like birthday drinks and stuff. So pre-birthday drinking and sort of just hanging out. So I wanted like a really short audiobook that I could use sort of on the train, maybe like on the way to Bath. Or maybe just sort of like get up a bit early, and because it's only a 3-hour audiobook, I can maybe just smash it before I even leave for the train. Like I think we're leaving Cardiff to go to Bath at like 11:30, something like that, so it's quite a quick one. But I don't know about it. Like I'm sort of regretting a little bit picking that one because I've sort of lost my nerve on thinking that it's going to be really good. Does anyone know about this one? Like has anyone read this? What are your thoughts? Like, anyway, if you got this far, thank you for watching. Again, thank you. I have loved chatting as well in the comments, like books you're reading, you know, books you hated, because that's also important. What's going on? Do you have a heat wave where you are? Would you like to die from it? Is it nice and cold where you are? Are you getting into autumn things? Like, talk to me. Talk to me. I need distraction from the sweatiness. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.